they're actually, a government in Australia is attempting to bring in this year, they're going to filter the internet.
Like China.
Yeah, exactly like China actually. Although they claim that it's only things that are
For your
illegal
protect.
or refuse classification.
Well, yeah, there's a debate there. You know, that's there is the freedom of speech and the freedom to do what you feel as you should do on the internet. However, if the government owns the cable lines, they should be able to control what is filtered through their cables, right? You know, so you know, if the government doesn't want to be part of child pornography.
But at the same time, there's other
I don't think
things.
anybody else should be either.
No, I don't think anybody else should either, but that is.
And that's called the card that they're playing.
That is the card they're playing, and that's a good card. You know, that's
It's
child
working.
pornography. You know, it's also a
Unless you're a child molester fighting for freedom. I mean,
for your child molester rights. There are no rights for child molesters. There's also the fact of the internet is also a safe haven for terrorists, and there are terrorists out there. There's no doubt about it. You know, it promotes violence. It promotes hate.
That reminds me of Obsolete, one of the songs we call High Tech Hate.
Exactly.
It's about hate on the internet, basically.
There's another song. I've actually heard the new album, the review copy, The Final Exit, which I thought was very interesting and it brought it home because Australia has a pro-euthanasia doctor.
Yeah.
Philip Nietzsche, I believe his name is. Who's written a book.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. Yeah. He's written a book called The Peaceful Pill, which is about basically the best way for people to self-deliver if they need to do that. And that's refused classification. It's not available for sale in Australia. But he has a website where he sells the book online and has resources and things like that. So that's the kind of thing that people will be losing access to.
Yeah, the final exit is also there's good things that it'll be, like you said, the internet's not just for bad things. You can find useful information on it. So, but they ban that as well. Yeah. But if you really want something, you can find the information for it.
And if you really want to, you'll be able to get around their filter as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but how much is the government going to filter here? You know what I mean?
Well, you don't know.
They're the ones making the decision on what's right and what's wrong.
Well, the United States, the government filters our emails. They filter our internet. It's being policed constantly. You know, even MySpace, that's policed.
Totally.
I
MySpace.
I tried to put a painting, a classical painting on MySpace. It's the painting. I can't remember who did it, but it's the painting of Prometheus being, he's nude on a rock, and his liver is being eaten out by a raven, and that's the tale of Prometheus, bringing fire, and that's his punishment. But because Prometheus is a painting, he was naked, MySpace wouldn't let it up.
Yeah, they don't allow nudity.
I know it's a classical painting. I understand that though, but still, that was my example of MySpace policing.
So how would you describe the sound on the new album?
Original.
Struth.
I think it's original to what Fear Factory was. It's true to form to our sound.
It's true to form.
So obviously, you've discovered the formula. Maybe the world wasn't aware of it before, but the Fear Factory formula is you two.
Well, Dino and I had a chemistry and have a chemistry, and in a lot of throughout history, you can pinpoint bands that have chemistry within the members, and it works. Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. They are the Rolling Stones. Many examples after that. But it's this album is, as Dino said, is true to form. It was Dino's riffs that really drove, pretty much created the band's sound in the beginning. His guitar tone, his riffs, and how the drums followed the riffs, and it created that precision of the new industrial form, industrial evolution.
Mechanical rhythm.
Or mechanical rhythms. To us, that is the evolution of industrial music. But we added more to it. It wasn't just industrial. It had a metal sense to it because, that became Fear Factory,
and of course Bert's vocal style.
Well, that helped. That had a lot to do with it. That was a big part of it as well. But we founded this band, and this is what the theme and the concepts and the sounds that we wanted to create. And obviously, when Dino comes back into the band, that sound is going to return. and that's, to me, a sound that was emulated at first after he left. It was emulated at first, and then it just got lost and glossed over. After Obsolete, we tried to experiment more, and then there was outside pressure from the label and management, because the label had taste of Fear Factory being a successful radio band, and they wanted to continue that. So there was a lot of influence and outside pressure influencing this band, and that's where Digimortal came in.
So, I mean, I quite like Digimortal.
No, it's a good record.
Linchpin song, like, is...
Yeah.
No, Digimortal is a good record.
I would say 90% of the record's killer, but I'm just saying, like, there were some stuff that, got a little watered down because we were forced to edit some of the songs, and like our demo was like a little heavier.
A lot heavier.
Yeah.
It sounds better, actually. It's just raw. It became overproduced to me. In my opinion, it became overproduced and wasn't as aggressive as it should have been.
So did Byron and Gene have much input into the process this time around?
Gene and Dino worked a lot together, and Dino. But when we went into the studio, and Dino was just like this riff machine, just kept riffs coming out of his hand, really.
He wrote it in a really short period of time as well.
And so Dino's influence with Gene was highly inspirational for Gene. Gene definitely added a lot of flavor to it. Mm-hmm. And if Gene wasn't playing on this record, it would sound a little different, of course. But Gene definitely has a flavor to his drums that added a lot to it.
And I understand you've made a video for Fear Candidate.
Yes.
And it's a bit different.
Yeah. Comes out February 6th. It's being debuted February 6th on Headbangers Ball in the United States. So I'm sure you'll see it on YouTube shortly after that.
If it's not policed. No, I was kidding.
To me, I think it's our most adventurous, and I would say the most thematic we've ever done.
Yeah.
And I think it's a video that a long time in the making, and it's gonna be cool. I think people are gonna be very, very surprised.
I read that you used no stock footage.
No stock footage?
Not no stock footage.
No, we didn't use stock footage. No stock footage, and it was the filmmakers themselves that made all the footage. They created all the photographs, all the footage themselves. There was no stock footage, so we wanted to create like we're watching CNN, instead of the images just like bombarding you, and we wanted to create that kind of thing to intimidate the audience with.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast, intense video as well.
And actually, only one thing got censored, which was very surprising. But still, it's I don't think they'll show it on this. There's a part where a guy's taking a pill real quick. There's like a blue pill. Yeah. The blue pill's on the tongue, and MTV doesn't want people
to take pills. But yeah, a lot of the editing is really fast, and it goes with the music, and it looks really killer.
So the future of Fear Factory, are you guys just going to keep writing it as long as you can, like now that you're back together?
We'll see what happens with this record. Right now everything's rolling really well. Everything feels good. We got a good momentum.
A lot of touring.
And we got
coming up.
We're coming. This band has experienced a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys, and I think we're coming out of a valley and we're slowly moving up towards the top of that peak again. And it's going to be a hard work. And but as long as the momentum's good, we're going to work on it as long as it works.
And your other projects?
Doing what we can.
Yeah.
Really?
Doing what we can. Right now, Fear Factory is taking a big precedent, but we're still working on. I'm still working on City of Fire with Byron. We got a tour planned later on this year in Europe that was actually rescheduled. We're also, Ascension of the Watchers. I'm writing new music. Planning to do another album with that as well.
Have you found Fear Factory fans react to that style of music? It's a little bit different.
It's very different, but some like it. I knew everyone wouldn't like it, but it wasn't for them. It was for me. The Watchers is my labor of love, and it's like my little thing that it's the music. And so I knew everyone wouldn't like it, but there are fans that do. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, and have a great show today.
Thank you.
Oh well, man. 9:30, green stage.